And now last but certainly not least, all right, tonight we honor the cornerstone of IU South Bend athletics, Coach Jerry Jones, who was instrumental in shaping our men's basketball program and athletic department. As the first NAIA men's basketball coach in school history, Coach Jones guided the Titans through a transformative period, moving us into the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference and setting up numerous records along the way. His leadership and dedication helped establish a culture of excellence that continues to inspire our program today. Though retired, Coach Jones remains a steadfast supporter of IU South Bend athletics, and we are proud to welcome him into our Hall of Fame. Coach Jerry Jones.
Maybe you better hold this a little bit while I get excited. Well, I looked at that picture, showed me with that cowboy hat on. I'm the 2016 champion cowboy poet in Kansas. And I'm just an old coach, that's all I am. I'm 86 years old. No one gives a damn. Yeah. Being chosen for this honor is one of my life's greatest moments. Mary is younger than I am, and my memory of her hire is a lot different than that. We had the opening, and I went in and told the athletic committee who wanted to hire her. They said she's got an interview. I don't think anybody else did. She came in for the interview. We already knew we were going to hire her. That's the way it was then, because there was no doubt in that leadership class she was in, she was the class of the class, I'll tell you. Well, as I said, I'm 86, and I don't get a chance to get in the microphone probably ever again, so a couple things I want to do. I'd like to introduce my wife, Dr. Kathleen Barrett Jones. She was the former Associate Superintendent of Schools for South Bend, Fort Wayne, and was located at Marion High School. And when we left, they didn't care, but when she left, the city of Mishawaka gave her the key to the city. Now, my daughter, Jessica Jones, is a graduate of Marion High School. Sometimes there is bent genes. She worked for Tommy Bahama as a fashion designer for 12, 15 years, something like that. And when she got to be 30, when they say is old in the fashion world, she went to New York City, and she is the co-founder of the New York City Fashion Jewelry Week, a big event. Hellish bigger than Vermilion. Well, I remember coming here. I'd been up here for a conference at Notre Dame, played golf here, flowers everywhere, sunshine, green grass, trees. I live in Kansas. I told my wife, if we ever get a chance to come up here for a job opening, we're coming. I'll apply for it. Well, a few years later, I saw this ad in the paper, and I applied, and Dr. James then was the dean. He called up and asked if I would come for an interview, and I thought it was somebody kidding me. And I asked Kathy, and says, what do you think? And she says, we've been here 7 years, sure. So I came up for the interview. Now, Coach Homer Drew is one of the finest coaches in America, and he and his sons both are, and was. Well, Homer Drew was the chosen one instead of old Jones. So I went back home, and that year Homer answered the call to go to Valparaiso. And I received another call from Dr. James. And he said, Coach Jones, would you like to come up here for an interview again? And I said, no, but I'll take the job if you're offering it to me. And he called back about 2 hours later and said, can you be here for a press conference Saturday? You darn right. And I got up here for the press conference, and one of the first things that they asked me, they says, how long will it take you to be competitive with Bethel? I didn't know anything about Bethel. I didn't know anything about anything up here except I knew that Indiana South Bend was interviewing me, and I knew where Notre Dame was. And I said, well, I didn't come up here to lose. I think we'll be competitive right away. And she laughed. And she said, don't you know that IUSB has never beaten Bethel, and you've lost 22 games in a row? Well, my coaching made it 23 and 24. But then we played them in the first round of the playoffs. Got them. I was so excited. I lived out on Orange Road. Sun come up, I drove into South Bend to get the South Bend Tribune because I wanted to see what the big story was after beating a team that had beat us 24 straight times. And the story was, Notre Dame's prize recruited kicker has chosen Florida State. No mention of us whatsoever in the whole Sunday paper, and I looked at every inch of it. Well, that's the way it was. Well, one of the other highlights was we went over to Bethel, and we won back-to-back championships of their classic. And local boy Charlie Winger, just my kind of guy, as he's making the free throws, we're in the foul of him, he'd look over the Bethel crowd and go, and then he'd look over at me and go, boy, I love that. I love that. And then the next highlight, I reckon, was Coach Cooper getting a reunion together last year of the IUSB Jones boys. A couple of them are here tonight, Rusty Stitt, and Craig Blasco, and Craig's son is playing for Coach Cooper now. It wasn't that long ago, damn it. And Marty Lukaszewski was probably the spirit of our team. There was so much to do, and I didn't have time to do it, and besides not knowing what to do, and Marty stepped right in as sports information director. We had a nice little program. He wrote a 4-page insert for that every home game. Terrific. Now, things aren't always as good here. You don't know how bad they were. The first Christmas tournament, I go over there to where we're playing at St. Mary's. It's snowing a little bit. We're playing a team from South Dakota, and the door's locked. Door's locked. I had to call the police, who found somebody to come out and unlock the door, and I go in, and there's no one there to run the gate or the concessions or the table. And Gene Love was the dean of students at that time, and he showed up. We had, like Mary said, we had a corps of fans that would show up, and I said, what's going on here? And he says, well, Jerry, this is a union community, and if they aren't coming, they don't have to come. And then Marty took over that. From then on, we never had anyone not show up. He took care of getting things going there. And now look at what we've got with Coach Cooper. What a great place this is now. I think IUSB, and especially Coach Cooper, no longer interim athletic director, but executive athletic director, for such his honor as being in this inaugural Hall of Fame class, along with the finest hire of 42 years in the business, Mary. Thank you so much for all the showing up, and thank you so much, a woman chancellor here, which I love to see, because I grew up in those days when it wasn't allowed. And thank you, Coach Cooper, and thank you all. Oh, Coach Jones.